How's it going? How you guys been? Since I made my last video, shout out to Henry D. Thank you for commenting on my video. Anyway, what I want to talk about is it's slightly not a complicated subject. It's all about having the correct mind configuration to understand it and kind of not even be bothered. I know it's going to sound strange when I start talking about it, but yeah, it's got a little bit to do with 9/11. That's part of it. It's an example. Um, I did make a video before talking about it. Um, I personally believe that it was blackmail by the Chinese Communist Party. They sent an undetectable nuclear submarine that could have incinerated the entirety of New York, the financial hub of the United States. However, it was negotiated that planes would hit the towers instead. Um, yeah, pretty shitty deal that was made, and they dress it up as Taliban, blah blah blah, and that'd be their pretext to have an invasion into the Middle East, which they'd been wanting to do for a long time anyway, for various reasons. Anyway, so that brings me to my point of limited warfare. And what this video is about is why doomsday preppers, although not entirely right most of the time, there are some points that your average non doomsday prepper, the people who dismiss them as being paranoid or even delusional of reality and all that sort of stuff. There is something doomsday preppers do that actually makes a whole lot of sense, and that's to get a gas mask. A lot of people go, gas mask? What, if someone in your house got really bad flatulence or something? Like, dude, why you need that? First of all, stupid. You never know. Anything could happen. Your building condominium could catch on fire, anything, and you'd be, yeah, you're better with a gas mask on. I actually don't have one yet. There really is only two models, and not gonna lie, I don't want the Israeli one. I just don't want it. I don't like Israel. Uh, I hope that doesn't burn any bridges, but oh well, I'm way past that point anyway. But I do have a few gas masks. I will make a video specifically talking about my gas masks and what I've learned from a YouTube channel that I've been watching where the fellow talks about gas masks. Anyway, my ones are collectibles. They're not for use, and I don't wear them around. There's a joke picture of me wearing one, wearing a Slayer shirt. Awesome picture. I know that pissed some people off, so that makes me fun. That makes me feel like I've done something funny, and it was fun. So whatever. But it was the West German gas mask. I don't believe those can be fitted with a modern day filter. And you wouldn't really want to on a West German one anyway. Um, Although I think structurally they're fine. Like one of the other ones I have is the Yugoslavian M2. Some people call it an M2M. Um, and that one is compatible with a NATO filter. The only thing is, NATO filters are not cheap unless you want an expired one when you're taking chances with an expired one. But I suppose that's better than asbestos, and I suppose that's better than having nothing at all. However, the M2M Yugoslavian, I think it was made in Serbia, but it was Yugoslavia at the time. The fundamental problem with that gas mask, I noticed, and the YouTube channel who talks a lot about gas masks, his YouTube channel's got a bad name, Weapons and Stuff 93. I think I said that before. That's his YouTube channel, Weapons and Stuff 93. Mostly talks about gas masks. That's the only part I'm interested in. And the Yugoslavian M2M, he said it, and I noticed it as well, that under the chin part there feels like it's not, skin, it's not tight under there. Like a gas mask has to completely cover your face. And this is important because, obviously, if there was a gas in the air and something like that, and it was broadcasted probably on everyone's smartphone and television, and when my smartphone makes that BC warning alert, and it's just a test, right? For a tsunami or whatever, that thing is loud. Imagine you're on the bus at the time and there's like 50 phones that are all beer, burr, 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 burr. That would be fucking irritating if it were a test, but anyway, so so anyway, yeah, getting back to it, I would shave in such an instance. I don't have much hair here, but I don't think you're supposed to have any. I think you're supposed to be clean shaven, so I gotta get a proper razor, really. Anyway, um, so yeah, the Yugoslavian one, better than nothing. It does have an asbestos filter with it that's expired, of course. That would have to be changed to a NATO filter. That could be done, but again, it's not airtight around the neck area, so that would not be entirely the best mask to have. And what this has to do with limited warfare is that the stakes are high, and there's a lot of things that have to be considered. That there are a lot of people who have power, who are really pissed off, who hold biases, who have discrimination problems, who are genuinely assholes, and they make shitty decisions, and they make shitty decisions for stupid people who let them make shitty decisions for them. I mean, we're kind of, we're in a jam with that one. We don't have much choice really, but I will point out that most people are stupid and are not even cognizant of the fact that there are people out there making shitty decisions for you who are shitty people, and they do it for shitty reasons. Shitty. Had to throw it in there one more time. Yeah, none of this is any good. This is bad. So theoretically, Vancouver being a port city, theoretically, a weapon could be detonated around here, a big one, cause a tsunami or something like that, or blow up the city. Could happen. Go up the Fraser River, anything. But the problem is that would be, that would start World War III, and in that context, World War III would be very, very short, in the matter of hours, if that, because a counterattack would happen, and it would be nuclear war everywhere, and everything would be decimated. But the people behind that are still as angry as they ever were. So what can they do? They don't want to get destroyed themselves, or maybe some kamikaze element to it that I'm not fully understanding at this point in time. However, what I will say is that they will control it so that it's limited warfare. So who knows? Obviously they have gases and things like that that can do everything, like burn your skin. Gas masks don't work well enough because I mean, it's not an oxygen tank; it's a filter. So bad stuff can still get through that. However, it is better to try something, do anything that you can if you can, because although I'm not going to buy an Israeli gas mask, I won't stoop to so low as to buy one because I can't. I don't like Israel. Okay, I mean I don't think any sensible human being, given the facts, could possibly like it, unless they have some preconceived notion that they're bringing democracy to the Middle East. Yeah, no, they're not doing that. They're a bunch of assholes. That's one of them things. And I'm talking about these subjects, and to some people, these are heavy subjects, and this is 2:56 a.m. They're going, "Why are you making this video at 2:56 a.m. talking about this stuff?" And it's like, I happen to be awake anyway. and I'm not too bothered about it. I mean, I had a sore throat for 7 years. You know, oddly enough, psychologically, that's got me in a headspace where I can actually think from a very decisive point of view, um, what a potential situation could be and actually understand it and not freak out at the same time, globus hystericus. Because, you know, I believe that the odds of that are extremely low, but not impossible. Um, yeah, it's a very, very complicated subject, but well, well, wrong sort of people start thinking this sort of stuff, and they're gonna freak out or something, and that wouldn't bode well. But it's not that complicated a theory. I mean, I'm just a stumble bum drunk, and I was able to think of it. Um, so yeah, this limited warfare thing. Yeah, so what does that mean really? Uh, it means that yes, they have bigger and badder weapons. They could use them, but if they did use them, then things escalate faster, and then the triumph of the will doesn't really get tested because everybody loses. Inevitably, if they play those kinds of games, that is exactly what's going to happen. But I compare it to the Kenny McCormick episode where he's I think he's in heaven or something, and he's playing a video game or something like that. I seem to remember. I don't think I watched the whole episode, but anyone who watched South Park would know. It has its moments, but it hasn't had that many lately. Not to my knowledge, anyway. And that's kind of why there's almost in the media, well, actually, there is in the media, the glamorization of bad things, which in turn creates the potential for um, pseudo intellectuals who band together to discriminate in one way or another against an individual, turning them into, the bad guys, like the involuntary celibates, um, the Sons of Coventry, all those types. They always say the same things about school shooters or any of the sorts. Um, that they were loners, this, that, and the other, anger management issues, blah 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 blah. And what they don't say is what pushed them to be that way. I mean, like you take Columbine for example. I forget how old those two punks were, but like you're telling me the adults couldn't outsmart them and prevent that from happening? Sounds a bit fucked up, yo. You're outsmarted by people who fucking or they're probably gonna fail high school anyway, and you're outsmarted by them. You must feel real fucking proud of yourself, don't you? Well, that's not funny, but it's funny that they're that stupid, but the whole situation's not funny, obviously. Um, yeah, and I think this is part of the limited warfare practice. Um, is that it's part of this intertwined, interwoven, systematic problem, and it's the idea that it's better to have a little problem than the biggest problem, which should be, the apocalypse, end of the world. That's why groups gather around individuals and do things. And I think they did things to those people, some of them anyway, um, not unsimilar to myself. However, I don't have anger management issues. I mean, obviously there are things that piss me off, but it's not the same thing at all. And I understand things from a reasonable perspective. And I'm doing quite well. So obviously things could be better, but things aren't that bad. So I don't have any reasons to be pissed off and angry all the time. in light of some things that are tremendously large amounts of bullshit, like the no women. What kind of joke is that? Um, Somebody's idea of a joke. I wouldn't have found that joke funny, even if it were against somebody else. I don't know. Too many people watch Deadpool and they get the ideological beliefs similar to them, and then they become these fat Seth Rogen types, and it's like, no, you ain't smart. Your movies aren't even funny. Um, and anyway, but yeah. So I was talking about a serious thing, where limited warfare between governments, Chinese Communist Party. That's a real thing, and I think they did have a hand in September 11th. I honestly do. And we were just told a stupid story, and there's too many idiots out there who get OCD about their beliefs, and you can't contradict them, or you're gonna get into a spot of bother because they'll get real mad at you. And I totally believe that, there could be a gas attack that's labeled as something else, and you damn well wish you have had a gas mask. Had I been anyone else, I would recommend buying the Israeli gas mask. I'm going to go buy the NATO one at some point, not right now because it's too damn expensive, but later on down the road, I'm going to buy one. But for anyone else, I recommend having a gas mask. You never know when you might need it. I mean, the filters aren't super amazing right now. They only got I forget what version of them. They only got 3 more years on their expiration date. So that's not super amazing about them. But, they're going to release another set and they should have 10 years, hopefully. Because they're supposed to last 10 years. But, obviously, if you pick them up when they're 7 years old, then it's new old stock. It's still, only got 3 years, if that, left on its expiration date. Uh, so yeah, Weapons and Stuff 93. Highly recommend you check out his channel to learn about gas masks. Because the guy knows his stuff. He knows it better than I do, a lot better than I do, and I recommend that. And the thing is, with this whole limited warfare concept that I'm thinking of, is that it enables people to do horrible things to other people, but within the means of the law, and um, yeah, just be really despicable people for a really shitty reason. And I don't think that people who abuse people in a disadvantaged situation chalk it up to going, well, they're a bad guy, they deserve it, and anything that happens to them, they had it coming, and it's like, no, 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 no. You can easily punish somebody who is stupid and deserved it. Easy to do that. Not that I believe I'm stupid or I deserve it, in my humble opinion. However, I feel like I've been punished by society. I definitely have. That would be a delusion to think I haven't been. No women, no regular social life. Don't make more money, but I make enough money. But I want to make more. Um, yeah, it's the people in the higher echelons of society who make decisions, and they keep themselves distant from the unwitting victim of political science and the ever quest for discovering the most intelligent human being. Got news for you, it's the white male. I don't care if you don't like it, that's simply the truth. Second place comes white women, and then, then there's, well, if we're talking about humans, like there's definitely a space between white women and everybody else, most certainly. But I think men are more intelligent than women. I mean, they have their advantages, but they're stupid in other ways. Predictable. um yeah, that's to consider, is that in the like I made YouTube videos where I'm talking about how incels are labeled as something, and it's guys like Mark Kelly and, oh, who's that bitch's name? That doesn't matter. The other bitch I was talking about on a similar show as the Fifth Estate, who think that all incels are strictly whatevers, and they're not. They're not. Um, it's an unreasonable view of it, and it enables them to do things that not only do regular people mostly don't understand, but it enables them to be assholes kind of really out in the open amongst their inner circles, particularly within the bureaucracy with the bureautrash. And they're the first to look at a guy like me and go, "Oh, he's white trash. Look at him. He's a slime ball overachiever." Well, guess what? I don't have much better opinion of you if I ever got to meet you. I probably don't want to, but I think I'm owed compensation for the trouble I've been through, in my opinion. Um, it is a little bit stressful making this video because it's not only about the things I talked about, which I believe are real possibilities, if not fact, is that there's somebody on the other end of this camera in the internet watching this video right now and not saying anything. It's creepy, yo. You're the creep, not me. I mean, these people. And like, for the longest times that they've been trying and trying and trying to goad me into saying stuff that's not me. That's not what I want to say. And no, they're kind of fucked up. I think they're more likely to fucking tweak out than me. But of course, that wouldn't be up for me to decide because I haven't even met them before. But I've seen Facebook profiles and I've heard what they said. Imagine being called, like a school shooter or something like that, and that's the only insult you're called, and it's really the only type of conversation they have, but on the forums, and it's directed towards you, and you don't hear them call you anything, compliment you, talk to you in a sensible manner again for a whole month. So, okay, they only said it the one time. However, you go, well, how often are they saying it while I'm not around? And to themselves, and in a malicious manner too, where they're like they really mean it, and they're saying it to, really, uh, you know, throw a bunch of shit your way because they're stupid assholes. Like that wouldn't be an intelligent way of doing things, but I guess they feel differently. Um, I mean, it's quite easy to see exactly what the trap is here and to simply avoid it. Uh, um, yeah, I guess, like, for, on and off for thousands of years, we've had governments and, they've hoarded information to themselves on how to control the masses. They've rewritten history and they influence public opinion through propaganda. And this is the best they can do? What a bunch of fucking lame asses. Like, seriously, a guy with greasy hair. By the way, I only didn't shower for one day, so shut up. Um, has outfoxed them. Because I am of the firm belief that there are some things in this world that are completely fucked up, and it's got nothing to do with me. It's got everything to do with all the assholes out there. There's so many. You can run into, people who are absolute the worst kind of people anywhere, and you, you never know. Because they put on a public facade going, I can't let anyone know that I'm an asshole, so I'll simply, tell people whom I can trust not to tell other people because they are also assholes. And that's how they get people who are in situations in the context of what they're doing to them, not unsimilar to myself. I don't think the way they think, but they are doing similar things to me as they are they would to somebody else. And I've seen things where it's like really spooky. Like I had to go to work very early in the morning a few days ago, and I saw things on a relatively quiet street that well, it was quiet, but there were homeless people around who were basically zombies. One going around in a circle looking for cigarette butts with his hood on, and this is like 5:30 in the morning, right? So obviously, I had to catch a bus, but it was creepy. And then there was a guy walking into a bank, and he's going like, "Ugh." And I went, that guy wasn't born with impediments. He's not acting up. He's not on, bath salts or anything like that or whatever's. That's medically induced. I saw that. And those shithead bureau trash, they can always chalk it up to he's a bad guy, he deserves it, let's laugh about it. And I am nothing like those scum. Those bureau trash and I are not the same at all. Um, they're the exact type of people for the longest time been trying to goad me into saying things on Facebook. And it's like, is it me who has mental health problems or is it you? Because I have strong evidence, and there's probably a mountain of evidence I don't even know about, can't have access to it, of course, that indicates that it is actually the bureaucrats that monitor my social media that have the mental health problems. And this is me saying at 3:13 in the morning, having a brewski, and talking about, limited warfare, school shooters, um, gas attacks, the wise idea of buying a functional gas mask, especially if you own your own house or your own apartment. Why not? For an Israeli gas mask is like $60. And, it's better to have it and not need it than not have it when you need it. But no, everyone goes, what is that, like a gimp mask? Do you have like some sort of sexual fetish for, S&M or, that sort of stuff? And it's like, no, I don't actually. I like normal things that someone in my position would like. Well, I would think anyway, I'd like to think, which is women with not bad breasts, good shaped body, and nice hair. I like nice hair on women as well. A lot of people don't appreciate hair, but hair is a good thing. Um, and yeah, so gas masks they're not for that reason. I've never thought of them for that reason. Other than other people think that, so I have to make the statement of saying no, I don't think of it that way. And the odd part is, like what makes this really awkward is I know this is, obviously being my channel's being monitored 24/7 probably by bureau trash who are been throwing dirt at me for the longest time, saying really nasty things that aren't even true, not even close to true. And, I bring up difficult subjects and, I'm fairly relaxed about it, I think. Except, I do live across from a high school, coincidentally. So I think they targeted me specifically because they went, oh no, he's got Nazi military, no ordnance and no knives. I said that already. Uh, oh no, he's got hockey jerseys. Oh, if I find out he's got a Derek Boogaard jersey, I'm gonna really let him have it. Oh, he's got a Derek Boogaard jersey. I'm really gonna let him have it now. It's like, but you guys were the worst kind of assholes to me for 7 years. I haven't done shit except make some money and fucking drink some booze and be in chronic pain because of you and get no action because of you. Why am I the bad guy? Why? Is it because I could potentially sue the bureaucracy for what they did? And they'll have to, pay me money for it, and out of spite, they'll fucking probably, I don't know, take it out of the BC Children's Hospital Foundation money. I don't know. That wouldn't be my fault. They're assholes. They'll try anything. Uh, like, why can't it be, the crabby sack of shit bastards at the top, and bitches too, who make too much money? Why don't they just write me like why does it like a group effort individually? Everyone who fucked me over signs me a check for a reasonable amount of money for my position. Why not? Like I can think of a few people who could, a few years' salary they gotta pay me, but we'll leave it at that. At least for now, anyway. Uh, yeah, that limited warfare stuff. That's spooky. Vietnam was the limited warfare war. A lot of people go, no, it was Vietnamese villagers that defeated the Americans. Not really. Vietnam is right next door to the Chinese, who probably had a standing army of 25 million people who were getting, more and more angry by the day. It just wasn't reported in American media. Did you think about that? Did you? Did you think about how the Tet Offensive was actually strategically a big giant failure? I mean, from the propaganda perspective, you get hippies coming along going, "Oh man, it proves that the American military machine can be beaten, therefore this war must blah, 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 blah," whether they're doing nothing. And it's like, oh, well, yeah, kind of not like that, you stupid hippie. Not like that at all. Um, So yeah, anyway, I am excited about making gas mask videos. I want to get one more before I make the video because I only have three at the moment. None of them are functional, and this next one coming in is not functional either. As I said, I want to get the NATO gas mask because it looks kind of badass. It looks cool. It's on my wall. Oh, I got a spider on my wall. Small one. I'll get it in a minute. Well, anyway, so there was food for thought there for some people, and I am very aware that people are deliberately going to twist my words because they simply want to believe what they want to believe. And making videos like this is erring on the side of maybe that was a stupid move to make this video kind of thing. However, sometimes it's better to correct people who are wrong, even if you have to bring up an awkward subject. Because if they continue thinking something wrong, especially about somebody, and you don't correct them, even if they discover that they're wrong themselves, they may continue with that thought process and push it anyway, especially in my situation where they have to protect their reputation. Because I'm the equivalent of the villagers who defeated the great bureaucracy, and I kind of did it by accident. I made it look easy, um, and they put people, as I said, in situations where it's part of the sick, twisted war games that they play, and they're so desensitized to the horrors of the war because they see it, through video footage and things like that. I don't look up that kind of stuff, but they do. That they don't care about someone like me. They go, well, he's got a beer in his hand. He lives in a house in a pretty good area. He's got this going. He's got that going. What's the difference if he's got a sore throat for a very long time? What's the difference if we call him a bunch of names? What's the difference if he never scores again? Or never scores any chicks ever? Like, when is this ever going to compute with them that their strategy isn't working by calling me all the names and then assuming they're true because they said them, and then trying to explain that they don't have a mental disorder by basically getting pissed off and explaining nothing? I've seen that many times, and it's like, No, you didn't outsmart me by getting pissed off and saying nothing. You just look like an asshole. Uh, so yeah, this goddamn awkward conversation. It really is. But I'm one who can move with the flow and kind of figure things out and think of better solutions and better theories as to certain things. And I can change my opinions, given more proper, like evidence or something like that. Uh, the spider over there is really annoying me. Should I? Well, I'll. All right, here. Show the spider really quickly. I just don't show you much more in my room because it's a little messy right now. See that little black speck there? It's to the bottom right of the light switch. Yeah, see it moved. That's the spider I was talking about. And I will get it momentarily. Because it is annoying me. I watched some Lord of the Rings lore, and they were talking about Shelob and the Ongoliath that was her mother or something like that. Anyway, it reminded me that spiders are also assholes. So I have this. I'll get it with probably a paper towel or something. Got a bug zapper. Could use that, I suppose, but where is it? Oh, it's over there. All right. Well, anyway, think I'm gonna tail this video off right here. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people who do not like me whatsoever who are gonna hate this video because I know too goddamn much, and I know that I'm pissing them off. Um, and I feel like Bender in the movie theater, kicking at the back of the seat, going, and eventually I'm gonna annoy the shit out of somebody, and they're gonna get really mad, and that's not gonna be good. Um, that's when he defeated the masked robot. Yeah, that's when Bender defeated the masked robot and then went into robot wrestling, which was fixed, of course, but that's talking about Futurama there. Anyway, see you people later. Have a good one.